Why tile-ready? Tile-ready shower solutions are manufactured as one fully integrated piece, which makes installation quick and easy. Tile-ready's pre-pitched shower pans are delivered in one piece that includes curbs and entrances, splash walls, and PVC drains. Once installed, you will be ready to set tile directly onto its surface. Let's begin the installation process. To ensure your shower pan is installed correctly, it is important that you follow all steps outlined here. Pre-installation prep. Ensure that the shower pan subfloor is level and walls are level, plumb, and square. Run your level from left to right. If off by more than 3/8 an inch, you'll need to go back and re-level out the floor prior to installing the pan. This will ensure a level finished product. Place the square into your corners to make sure corners are all square and straight. All walls and framing should be plumb prior to proceeding. The next item to confirm is that the bore hole is in the right location for the shower hub to actually fit. The bore hole needs to be a 6-inch diameter opening. To get your bore hole location, measure from side splash wall closest to drain and backsplash wall to the center of the drain. On the pan that we are working with today, we'll need to be 15 inches off the back wall and 6 inches off the side wall. Shower dry fit. To ensure a perfect fit, test fit your pan into your space by placing the pan up against the corner, touching all the walls. Make sure that it is perfectly level on the floor. There should be no movement or bulge. The drain hub should fit inside the bore hole. Installation preparation. Here you will see the bottom of the pan. To properly calculate the depth of the mortar needed, you're going to measure the deepest point of the rib underneath the pan. To do that, you're going to go from the furthest point from the drain. For your exact pan measurements, please reference the installation instructions for your specific tile-ready product. For today's video, we are using a ready base left drain. The measurements we calculated based on the instructions are at 1.25 inches. You're going to subtract a 1/4 an inch from that measurement, which is now going to give you 1 inch. This calculation indicates that you'll have 1 inch underneath the entire pan. Tip: you can get a piece of wood, a shim, and use it as a depth gauge. Mark the shim to indicate the inch measurement needed. In this case, we calculated 1 inch. This is helpful later during the actual installation to ensure that you have a sufficient amount of mortar. Mortar preparation. We recommend using a Type N or Type S mortar mix. These are made out of a sand base. It doesn't have any rocks or pebbles that will prevent you from being able to recess the pan inside the mortar bed. We recommend having 2 buckets ready. Pour water and mortar mix into the buckets. We're using Type S. A drier mortar mix will prevent your pan from setting properly. As you're adding water, you want to make sure that your mortar is wet and loose enough, which will allow the pan to easily sink into the mortar. Laying mortar. Now that the mortar is mixed, grab your depth gauge and finishing trowel. This trowel is straight-edged on all 4 sides, which is going to allow for a nice, smooth texture and flow of mortar mix. As you're spreading out the mortar into the shower stall, stay approximately 1 inch off the perimeter of the shower framing. This will allow mortar to stay inside the rib foundation underneath the pan. You'll want to go all the way up to the bore hole. By using the depth gauge, this will help you to verify that the mortar bed is the depth that you need. Again, using the edge of your trowel, pull the mortar approximately 1 inch off the perimeter of the shower framing. At this stage, check all areas throughout the shower bed to ensure that you're reaching the specific depth you need, in this case, 1 inch. You'll notice that we're actually bringing the mortar a little bit past the pan size. This will be explained as we set the pan. Pan installation. Now that your mortar bed is laid out and measured to ensure proper depth, we are ready to install the pan. Apply your PVC glue to the drain hub, putting it at the top of the PVC waistline that the pan itself will connect to. Place the pan against the wall, lowering it evenly into the mortar bed. The first place to apply down pressure is the drain because that is the lowest part of your pan. That's where your water will drain. At this time, also confirm that the waistline pipe is connected, inserting it into the actual hub of the pan itself. Work your way through the rest of the pan. Shimmy the pan left to right or front to back, dependent on your pan's rib foundation, allowing the pan to recess into the mortar bed. While you apply some pressure and weight to recess the pan, do not step into it. Using your level, ensure that your pan is level left to right and front to back along your splash walls and left to right along the curb. You do not want to use the inside of the pan as an indicator since the pan is pre-pitched and not meant to be level. As you can see, there is mortar coming out of the front of the pan. As explained earlier, while setting the mortar down, we pass the curb a bit so that we can ensure that there is mortar underneath the entire curb. Using your trowel, you will pack any gaps under the curb with the excess mortar. Now that we've cleaned the excess mortar out, confirm one more time that the pan is level and did not shift. Now that the pan is set, leveled, and the front curb is cleaned up, you're ready to secure the pan into place. To ensure that your pan does not shift while drying, you can set screws above splash walls into the framing on each corner. You do not screw through the pan splash wall. You never puncture the pan. This is just going to hold it in place while the pan is drying. After allowing it to set and dry for 24 hours, you will return to install the flashing and continue to install your backer board and tile. Installation instructions will provide a list of recommended modified thin sets used for tile installation.